Welcome to WMLT News. I'm Brian Arnold.
And I'm Sean Miser. As economic times harshen in West Virginia and across the country, many people are finding themselves jobless. The 7.7% unemployment rate in March was the highest for West Virginia since 1999. Job losses for the month are estimated at 2,100, pushing the number of unemployed West Virginians to over 60,000. I got a chance to find out more about the economic climate in the Mercer County area and what one Concord program is doing to promote business growth. The job market is becoming more and more scarce across the country, leaving many to turn to aid just to get by. For many in the area, that help comes from Workforce West Virginia.
We offer their unemployment compensation, set up now for 26 weeks. There is a federal extension that's 13 additional weeks. Local businesses post job openings, and we match the job opening with the claimant that matches their qualifications.
In Mercer County, the biggest hit to local residents came when 13 people were laid off after the closing of 2 locally owned gas stations and 12 from the company that provided logging equipment. But is there a threat for any large layoffs in the area?
We've not heard of any. By law, if they have 50 or more layoffs, they're to notify Charleston for rapid response. And in this area, no.
The job market in southern West Virginia is stable relative to many areas across the state and country, leaving room for growth. The Concord Business Incubator is attempting to do just that in a non-traditional manner.
Our center is not revolved around what you traditionally call small business. Small business may be a retail store. It may be someone wants to offer a service, 2 or 3 employees. Our goal here is to try to develop what we call growth-oriented, high-value-added companies.
That means companies that are technologically based and have the potential to expand out of the region. The Concord Business Incubator is here to help anyone with those aspirations.
So we deal with brand new companies, we deal with companies who are not, or people who have not formed companies yet, and people who are in business and are looking for growth capital.
There is money and guidance available and a small amount of people taking advantage of it, leaving the door open to many. In Athens, Sean Miser, WMLT News.
On April 11th, an earthquake jolted many areas of Mercer County, including right here in Athens. Amber North has more.
Concord students carried on their lives normally despite the earthquake, measuring a 2.4 on the Richter scale. Dr. Joseph Allen, a geologist at Concord, had this to say about the earthquake.
You would probably just feel it if you're lucky, and I'm not sure that there are any reports of anybody having felt that earthquake. Matter of fact, I think it was at about 2:11 in the afternoon, and I was working in a quiet building up here, and I didn't notice anything. So.
Concord is located at the tip of a seismic zone that stretches from East Tennessee into southern West Virginia.
We're in the part of the state that has the highest earthquake risk.
Since West Virginia is not in a major risk with its fault zones, natural hazards such as flooding and damages done by recent storms have caused more problems than that of earthquakes. Due to West Virginia's landscape, earthquakes are a rare occurrence. The most damaging earthquake happened over 100 years ago. Even though earthquakes are only expected to occur once or twice every 10 years, they are still not something to be taken lightly. Reporting for WMLT News, Amber North in Athens.
About 8 to 12 million dogs and cats are picked up by animal control each year. Less than half of these animals are returned to their owners. The rest are sent to animal shelters. Kelsey Spurlock has more about how you can help by visiting your local humane society.
4 million dogs and cats are euthanized in shelters every year because they have no home. The Humane Society of America is a nonprofit organization that succeeds in finding homes for hundreds of thousands of animals every year.
We got a chance to visit the Raleigh County Humane Society and learn what they are doing for the dogs and cats in our area.
Jim Kinney, an adoption specialist at the shelter, gave us some information about the Humane Society and what people can do to help.
And our mission is to adopt dogs and cats to forever homes and to help people that are low income to have their animals spayed or neutered, and to educate the public in dog and cat care. The biggest thing that people can do in general is to have their animals spayed or neutered. that message cannot be preached enough to the general public.
Other than donating items and having your animal spayed or neutered, people are also encouraged to volunteer by walking the dogs and sharing a little love.
Just going out, walking the animals, trying to get them out of the building and get them a little bit of exercise.
There are many ways you can help your local Humane Society by donating money, food, or time. To learn more about the Humane Society and what they do, visit hsus.org.
For WMLT at Concord, I'm Kelsey Spurlock.
Recently, students were invited to Subway Sides for the Build-A-Bear and Photo Football event. Free bears and footballs were given out for Spring Fling Week until 3 p.m. The entertainment company, Fantasy World Entertainment, hosted several fun activities throughout the week of Spring Fling.
Horses, just little games and stuff they can play on these inflatables, like laser tag. We also have a few carnival rides and like rock walls, stuff like that. It's always nice, like, you know, you meet a lot of different people and everything. You know, just get to go around, travel a lot of places, see a lot of places that you normally wouldn't see at all, like if you didn't have a job like this.
And that brings us to this week's edition of the Concord Minute. Gabrielle Scabetta will run down the stories from the Concord student newspaper, The Concordian.
Thanks, guys. A No Talent talent show was held last Thursday night in Subway Sides. It was hosted by Delta Zeta and served as a fundraiser for Gallaudet University, which provides deaf students with an opportunity for higher education. Students were not charged an entry fee, but were asked to make a contribution. The Delta Zetas raised $135, which is all going to the university. The winner for Best Talent was Benjamin Casto for his performance on the fiddle, and the Best Worst Talent went to the performance entitled, We Are Just Happy. The Concord University History Club recently donated 3 sets of History Channel DVDs to the J. Frank Marsh Library. The DVDs were Engineering an Empire, 7 Deadly Sins, and The Presidents. Concord University Theater is presenting Elephant Man by Bernard Pomerantz. It's about a man who struggles with a disfiguring disease which makes him a sideshow freak in Victorian England. The show will take place in the H.C. Paul Theater in the Alexander Fine Arts Center on Wednesday, April 22nd through Saturday, April 25th. All shows will start at 8 p.m. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Gabrielle. It's time for a break here in WLT News. Stay tuned to hear about some new dining options in the area.
And we'll take a look at the latest in CU sports. Spring sports are in full swing here on the Campus Beautiful, and that means the Lady Mountain Lions softball season is well underway. Under a new coaching staff, the Concord University softball team looks forward to improving on last year's disappointing season. The Lady Lions are already ranked higher than last year and have broken the winless streak at home. With the majority of their scheduled games still ahead, this young team looks forward to building on an even stronger program. With a team that only has one senior, the future is looking bright for these young ladies. For a schedule of games or just to check out statistics, you can visit www.cumountainlions.com.
With today's economy in bad shape, it's hard for new businesses to get off the ground. But for Beckley Village Shop and Bistro, it's been easier than expected. Josh Kerbway has more.
Residents of Beckley may be surprised to see the old bus station has a new look. The Village Shop and Bistro recently moved in and renovated the old station.
We wanted it to be something a little different, so it was a lot of trial and error, but we knew what we wanted. We knew the look we were going for.
With a new look and taste, the bistro still brings in many customers, old and new.
They like the atmosphere very much. It's a very, I won't say quiet, but it's a very friendly atmosphere. They like the food. It's just a little different than what they were used to, but they love coming in here.
Although the buses have stopped running, this slow economy has not stopped customers from coming to the Village Shop and Bistro.
I'm doing pretty good. I mean, people thought we were crazy wanting to start a business at this time frame, you know. But the opportunity for us to start this business, it just kind of fell in our lap. And so we thought we would just go ahead and make a go for it. And it being, a different type of atmosphere, a different type of store, we thought for sure that it would attract a lot of attention, and it has. And we've been doing really well.
Although this bistro may be small, it has a big future. Josh Curbway, WMLT News, Beckley.
With people becoming more health conscious, many fast food restaurants are offering healthier choices on their menus. Marilyn McAuliffe has more about one particular food chain.
KFCs across the country are trying something new. They're going grilled. Employees can agree. KFC's attempt at a healthier menu has drawn in more customers.
Our sales has increased since we've started the new grilled chicken.
Compared to the Colonel's original recipe, the grilled chicken is a much healthier choice.
There is no oil at all. It is baked just like you would grill at home.
It seems like the grilled chicken would make the Colonel proud.
We're selling more grilled than our extra crispy.
The KFC in Beaver may be selling more of the grilled chicken than fried, but nationwide the original recipe still seems to be America's top choice.
It's almost next to the original.
For WMLT News, I'm Marilyn McAuliffe.
In this week's edition of Ticket or Leave It, Brian Arnold will take a look at a recently released film. Thanks. This is the last edition of Ticket or Leave It for the spring semester. I'm Brian Arnold. So, imagine you're a casting director and you hear that you need to find an actor to play an alienated psychopath with violent tendencies. Maybe American History X's Ed Norton, Brad Pitt in Fight Club mode, or today's go-to guy for delusion and brutality, Christian Bale. Just curious, where was Seth Rogen on your list? If you observe and report filmmaker Jody Hill, the sarcastic, cuddly star of Knocked Up and Superbad was right there at the top. In his most challenging role to date, Rogen plays bipolar mall security guard Ronnie Barnhart. At first, Ronnie's awkward schlub is your usual Seth Rogen brand of funny, but you slowly realize he's not quite right in the head. Like Taxi Driver's Travis Bickle, Ronnie lives by his own strict moral code and sees the world as evil and himself as the only line of defense against it. And when he unleashes some serious violence early on, you realize just how dangerous the man really is. The object of Ronnie's protection and unrequited love is the always beautiful and hilarious Anna Faris, who plays a shallow, vapid, and just plain mean makeup girl. I always love Anna Faris, but she was really hard to like in this movie. But to her defense, she was supposed to be. Every character was tough to root for. The movie is dark and harsh, it's vulgar, it's full of graphic nudity, it's mean-spirited, and it is really, really funny. It may not be for the mainstream audience, which is probably why its box office numbers aren't soaring. The squeamish should leave it, but if you can enjoy a good laugh at the expense of some really messed up characters, Observe and Report is worth a ticket. That's all I've got today. Back to you at the desk. Handsome. Here he comes.
That looks like an interesting film. I haven't got a chance to get out and see it yet, though.
Me neither.
That's going to do it for WMLT News for this semester. I'm Sean Miser alongside Brian Arnold and the rest of our WMLT crew.
Also, this was Sean Miser and myself's final show with WMLT. We're moving on, but make sure to tune in the fall for some more WMLT news. We'll see you in the fall.